Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining the Realtor Safety Summit. Before I begin, I'd like to introduce myself and my partner, Mike Becker. My name is Adam Havey, and I'm a co-founder here at Guard Llama, which is a personal security system for realtors. I have over 15 years of experience in the security world. My dad started a security company shortly after I was born in Springfield, Illinois. And as far back as I can remember, I've been installing, selling, and monitoring security systems. As I grew up in the security world, I learned more about people's fears and violent crimes committed in my own town than any kid should ever know. The more I was exposed to it, the more I learned why people were actually worried about their safety. And 90% of them, if not more, revolved around one reason, which they had recently experienced attack on their personal safety. Not many people are proactive about their safety. I think I've heard the phrase, "I can't believe this happened to us," about 1,000,000 times. The fact that you are here, present with us today, shows us that this is not the case for you, which is absolutely amazing. And I want to commend you for taking the time and the initiative to attend today. I'm also a rape crisis intervention counselor for the YWCA with several hundred hours of counseling experience. I've seen firsthand the destructiveness of sexual assault and domestic violence. Now I'd like to introduce my partner and our Chief Marketing Officer, Mike Becker.
Thanks, Adam. Good afternoon, NAR members and affiliates. My name is Mike Becker, and I am the CMO here at Guard Llama. A little bit of background information about me. I have a degree in journalism, and mainly I've been working in digital marketing for the last 10 years. I've sold 2 small businesses in the last 2 years, both being digital marketing agencies that focused pretty heavily on content development, which is where my journalism skills helped me gain an edge on the competition. I also spent about 4 years in the U.S. Marine Corps as a cryptological linguist, and I've run almost a dozen reconnaissance missions all over the world. During my time at the Marines, I studied terrorism and human behavior, and after experiencing firsthand the human potential for violence, I felt ready to take on a new enemy here on the home front, which is why I'm dedicating this next phase of my career to the Guard Llama mission. Same as Adam, same as the rest of our team. Our mission is to provide relevant and useful personal security resources for realtors, parents, students, survivors, and sexual and domestic violence survivors, and primarily to create new technology advancements in personal security. What we're about to share with you today we'll be covering how technology can help empower realtors like yourself and how easy it can be to incorporate it into your daily routine. What we're about to share with you will actually make it much easier for you to take precautionary steps in advance so you can avoid dangerous and risky situations at work. Knowing these strategies will give you more confidence as you go about your sales activities. Secure that you're doing everything to protect yourself, your coworkers, and your clients from falling victims of verbal, physical, or sexual assault on the job. The technologies and tools we're about to show you will also help you weed out unqualified buyers and assess potential risks before spending any of your precious time trying to close the sale. The final tool that we will present will also enable you to react on the spot when your intuition is sounding those internal alarm bells that go off in those critical moments leading up to an attack, freeing you to enjoy what you do best, delivering a disruption-free home presentation and catering to your customer's experience. All because you've got the technology and trained protection you need at your side in case something goes wrong. But we'll get to that in just a moment at the end of the webinar. Basically, our goal for this webinar is to give you an in-depth look at current technology that can help keep you safe on the job, help you weed out unqualified buyers, and easily integrate tools that you could easily integrate into your current selling routine. This presentation will be roughly 25 minutes long. We're going to do about a 15-minute Q&A section at the end. And as Adam presents, I will also be monitoring the chat and creating a list of questions to discuss during the FAQ section. So please feel free to put all your questions, comments, feedback right into the chat feature. And I'll be able to record which ones we want to go over towards the end. Oh, totally forgot. Stick around towards the end of the webinar, because at the end of the webinar we've got a special surprise for you. and you definitely don't want to miss that one. And now let's get back to the presentation. Here's Adam.
Thank you, Mike. So there have been over 50 reported homicides committed against realtors since 2010, making it one of the most dangerous jobs in the United States currently. There has been a 900% increase in realtor-related crimes since 2007, 900%. We noticed the majority of these crimes were committed by an individual with prior offenses. This is something that would have been spotted with a quick background check, potentially saving these agents' lives. Now, luckily, we live in an age where technology plays a huge part in our lives. There are tools for everything you can think of that save you time, money, and can keep you safe. Today, we're going to provide you with a Guard Llama approved checklist that leverages some of the best technology we found that saves you time and can help keep you safe. Before meeting with a new prospect, do yourself a huge favor and follow these 2 quick steps that will undoubtedly save you time and help keep you out of harm's way. Step 1. It's so easy these days to take and share pictures with your friends, family, and clients from your mobile phone. I'm sure that some of you are doing it right now. Have your client snap a picture of their photo ID and return it to you via text or email. You can also request they complete a prospect ID form, which can be found at realtor.org. That includes their full name, current address, and current employer. Send them the document using a great e-signature tool like DocuSign or HelloSign, and this reduces the time and barriers for the prospect to quickly return the electronic form via email. Once you have the picture and completed prospect ID form, you can use that information to run a criminal background check in less than 30 seconds using a highly affordable tool like BIN Verified at binverified.com. Now, there are tons of great services to choose from that allow you to run these background checks with extreme ease. We personally like BIN Verified for its incredibly simple interface and its ease of use. You might be thinking that, how does this save me time? How does it keep me safe? And how does it make me more money? Well, as you all know, and I'm sure you're very familiar with, time is money. And we certainly don't want you wasting any of that, especially with a buyer who isn't serious. By requesting a photo ID and running a criminal background check, you've saved yourself the time and effort of leaving the office to meet a potentially dangerous individual with zero intentions of buying. You'll uncover plenty of red flags using BIN Verified and pre-qualify your prospects immediately. Now that you've run a background check and determined the prospect has a clean and a safe record, you should schedule an initial consultation before jumping into a showing. Remember that great criminals, if there are great criminals, don't have records. Use this initial conversation to gauge the person's personality and buying signals. It's possible you get a weird vibe or sense no buying signals from a prospect who has no intentions of buying. Schedule an initial meeting virtually with a free video conference tool. I'm sure you've all heard of Skype and Google Hangouts, but there's also one called Uber Conference. Now, this is a good way to manage your time and decide if this prospect is even worth yours and effort to meet outside the office to show a property. If you get a bad vibe on the video call or don't sense the right buying signals, you can move on to the next serious prospect, and you haven't even had to leave the office. This allows you to focus on making money and staying safe while saving time. My favorite tool to use is Uber Conference. It's free and doesn't require both parties to have their own accounts, which is crucial if a prospect doesn't want to download another software application or sign up for Google Hangouts or Skype, which can be a lengthy process. You just create your own Uber Conference account and send your conference line and PIN number to the prospect. They are provided the proper link to join the call and the conference line and PIN number for audio. Now, get a safety buddy. Your safety buddy should be a coworker of yours. Choose your best office friend and propose that you two check in on each other before and after scheduled showings. This is best accomplished by sharing your calendars and gamifying your new safety-first sales process. When I first worked in financial sales, my coworkers and I gamified everything from cold calls to appointments booked to deal closed to commission earned. We had incentives for the person who had the most of each category. We booked more important appointments and had way more fun on the job. In your case, gamify your new safety process by making it about who can book more new prospect meetings. However, for the meeting to count toward your total, you have to have a documented prospect ID form with photo ID and or have a documented background check. This helps hold each other accountable for proper safety protocols and makes the job a bit more fun. And the loser gets to buy a round for happy hour on Friday. The best free tools that we can recommend that make the process simple are Pick.io, Google Calendar Sync, Outlook Sync, or iCalendar Sync. Now, Pick.io is extremely user-friendly and allows yourself and your partner to view each other's calendars and receive notifications when the other has scheduled a showing. Google, iCalendar, and Outlook are extremely easy to sync up with your safety buddy. Whenever either of you has an appointment, the other will be notified. Set some rules in place with your partner. Whenever they receive the notification that you have a showing, they should text or call you to ask for a check-in time. If they do not hear from you, they should be instructed to call the local police and give them the address of your appointment that is conveniently already shared with them. Now that you've followed proper safety protocols by requesting an ID, running a background check, and syncing up with your safety buddy, you're ready to show the home to the new prospect. Follow a few of these preparation rules for showing that leverages some great technology tools that can help ensure your safety. Now, most importantly, and I obviously may be a little bit biased, is carry a guard llama. Guard llama is a small key fob device that clips to your keychain. With a press of a button, the companion application on your smartphone is triggered to send your live GPS and profile to the local police for an incredibly rapid response. Now, have a safety plan in place. You've seen this home before any prospect has, so make note of all the exits in the household so you can get away quickly if needed. Further, you should utilize a crime mapping tool like crimemapping.com that shows you how dangerous the neighborhood is. All you have to do is enter the address and you can see the results of the crime in the area. Check out the home on Google Maps and switch from satellite to street view and scan around the outside of the home. Take notes of places to park on the street to avoid being blocked in on the driveway, as well as any exits in the household. You also get a great idea of some populated places in the area that you might have to run to if you're in trouble. And be cell phone savvy. This is something that you carry around all the time and is an incredible piece of technology. On your first walkthrough of the new home you're showing, watch your cell signal in certain areas of the house. If you notice that your cell reception gets to unusable levels, you may want to consider purchasing a signal booster that enhances your cell phone reception. Wilson's Electronics sells great and easy to install cell phone boosters that can go with you anywhere, in the car, at the house, and they're incredibly easy to install. They probably take about 5 minutes if you're good at it. Now, of course, this is useless if your phone isn't charged. If you have trouble holding a full charge all day, you may want to consider purchasing a battery pack cell phone case. OtterBox and Belkin make some fantastic cases with a built-in charger and have the industry's leading charge times. And the best part is they're kind of stylish and they're not overly bulky. Connect to the Wi-Fi in the home that you're showing the first time you're there, if applicable. As long as your Wi-Fi is enabled when you return, you'll automatically connect to it. This gives you a backup plan if your cell signal is choppy and if you don't have a cell phone booster. If the home is equipped with a security system, try to enable the chime mode or setting. Talk to the homeowner about it. This makes a chime sound whenever any of the doors open in the household. You won't be caught off guard by anybody so long as that mode is enabled. Now, if the home doesn't have a security system, which is pretty common, a simple bell on the windows or doors will work. It's not very technologically advanced, but it's still pretty effective. Turn on all lights and open all the curtains and blinds so the neighbors or passers-by might be able to see if anything is going on. Criminals hate witnesses, so by doing this, you've increased the opportunity for a witness and potentially made the criminal a bit more skeptical. And it's just good marketing for the house. There are cases when all the technology and preparation may not be enough to prevent a dangerous situation. When it comes to needing help immediately, 911 needs to be contacted as soon as possible, which is why we created Guard Llama, the last line in technological defense that can get you or a loved one help when you truly need it. We hear stories every day, and I literally mean every day, about the defaults of the 911 system and how police couldn't locate someone who called 911 in time. With Guard Llama, we take the hard work out of the entire process, not only for you, but also for the person answering the call. Since 2007, violent attacks on realtors have increased over 900%. You need to make sure that you're doing everything you can to protect yourself. What inspired us to focus on real estate so heavily and provide all the information and help that we could was a story I'm sure you're all very familiar with. Beverly Carter was a real estate agent who went to show a home in a remote location to a prospective buyer. 5 days later, her body was found in a shallow grave 20 miles from the house. When asked why he committed the murder, her offender replied, "She was just a woman who worked alone." There have been over 173 homicides of real estate agents since 2003. But how can this be? Isn't help always just a phone call away? Well, sometimes. Dialing for 911 is simply not an option. 911 is a great resource. When you have the time to locate and unlock your phone, dial for help, and safely explain the nature of your emergency. Where 911 falls short is in situations where the offender has the element of surprise, or even worse, your trust. But even when you can call, the dispatcher will spend nearly 2.5 minutes answering you a series of questions, the most important question being, where is your emergency? The fastest way for 911 to locate you is for you to tell them your exact address. Contrary to what Hollywood shows us, geolocating a caller can take up to 30 minutes and is only accurate within 300 yards. So if you're in a park or a place where the address is not necessarily known, or if you simply do not want the person in the room next to you to know that you're calling, there's nothing 911 can do to help you. We're out to solve this problem. So how do we do it? After downloading the GuardLama application and creating a physical profile, every one of our users receive a Bluetooth remote that can easily attach to a set of keys, a backpack, a purse, or even a belt loop. In the event of emergency, they simply push the button on their remote to activate the GuardLama mobile application. As quickly as a text message, their location and profile are instantly sent to our 24/7 UL-listed and federally certified emergency response team. The police now know exactly who they're looking for and where that person is. Now, as you may know, there are other tech companies trying to tackle this problem, but the key word here is trying. Current solutions fail in several key areas. Here's what GuardLama offers that others don't. Other companies require you to have your phone out with their application open. We can send an alert for help without you ever having to take out your phone from your pocket. Other companies don't track their users' altitude. We always send our users' altitude so it can be found in any building that's taller than 1 story. And most other companies only alert your friends and family when you're in trouble. Our product alerts the police instead of your top 5 contacts. This point is absolutely crucial in a life or death situation. When dialing 911 is not an option, GuardLama turns your phone back into the lifeline that it can be. This concludes this section of our presentation. I want to thank everyone for joining today. We had to go through it a little fast. We started a little bit late, but we still hope it was very beneficial. Thank you for being an integral part of the Realtor Safety Movement. We'd like to offer you a steep discount on all GuardLama services. Simply log into theguardlama.com at checkout and enter NAR Safety for 50% off your GuardLama service for life. If you'd like to contact me afterwards, please use one of the provided contact emails and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I'm going to let Mike Becker, my CMO, hop back on and answer any questions that you might have. Thank you so much and I appreciate it.
Hi everybody. I am actually sitting on the chat feature looking at the questions asked, and I've got one from Greg Glossman, was the first question that came through, is do background checks require a buyer consent? So background checks can be different. You know, there's background checks that you get for an employer. There's background checks that you might get for like an investor that you're going to be working with or something like that. But in general, consent is only required when somebody is doing something related to pulling your personal records, right? So if they're going to pull your school record, your military record, your credit report, even maybe your background information for your work history. All those types of reports require consent. However, to use something like a bin verified, which is just open to the general public because it's a database that pulls information about a specific person from multiple different databases. And that allows you to see things like police records, which are actually public records. So those do not require any kind of consent. So in general, what you're trying to do is you're trying to feel out this person and see what their background history looks like. In most of the cases where there have been a fatal attack on a realtor, the perpetrator did have some sort of background, some sort of violent or sexual background in his history. And those things will populate right away, and they definitely are things that will raise red flags. I hope that answers your question, Greg. Thank you for asking. Let's see what we've got here. This webinar is being recorded, Christine Ryan, and it will be available on the, I believe, NAR learning portal or training portal, and it should be up, I think, forever, as well as this coupon code. So this coupon code is available to NAR members that are on the webinar today, that will watch the webinar recorded in the future, and it's open to use. You can use it for yourself, and you can also share it with your coworkers and employers too. Linda Hammer, how do we get the discount again? Okay, so if you navigate to the website, there's going to be a feature that's a button right on the top of the home page that says plans and pricing, and once you click on that, that will take you to the checkout page. The checkout page is portal, P-O-R-T-A-L, .theguardllama.com, and you can click on checkout and see both plan prices. So we've got two prices that you could choose from, an annual price and a monthly price. The monthly price is $14.95 and requires a personal security remote, price of $49.95. The annual price is $149.95, and the remote cost is $49.95 as well. Your discount is a 50% discount, which basically gives you the remote a $50 value at no cost, as well as taking an additional $50 off the annual plan. So your total, once you check out, is $99.95 for the whole year. You get the remote, 24/7, 365-day-a-year monitoring, as well as access to the Guard Llama application, which is available for both iOS or iPhones and Android devices. I hope that answers your question, but if you still have concerns, we do have a live chat feature on the website as well as the checkout page. So if you come across any issues, go ahead and click on that live chat, and one of our support representatives will be able to help you get set up. Doris Miller asks, is there a way to request medical assistance if the police may not be needed? Of course. So the way the device works is, A, we put a lot of safety measures in place for the device to be able to reduce the amount of false alarms. For one thing, the button is covered by a small lid that works on a spring. Your finger slides directly under there, and you click the device 2 times. When you click the device 2 times, the device will vibrate in your hand, letting you know that the application on your smartphone has been activated. Once that application has been activated, your GPS location as well as your personal security profile will be sent directly to our dispatch center. That dispatch center instantly sees your local police locator, and that helps them know who to contact directly. However, as soon as you click that button, your phone will also begin to ring. The person that is calling you is our automated system that either requires you to put in a PIN in case this is a false alarm so that you can deactivate the alarm, or you can press pound to speak to a dispatcher. If you press pound and you're speaking to a dispatcher, you can easily notify the dispatcher that this is not a security situation or an emergency, that this is a health-related emergency, and instead of dispatching the police, they will dispatch the closest ambulance. If that helps, and if you've got any more questions, please feel free to give us a call or give us an email at hello@theguardllama.com, and we'll be able to answer any of your questions there. As well as we've got that, again, that live chat feature where you can speak to one of our trained support engineers, and they basically can help you, set up your device. They can help you complete your order. They can also help you. They can also help answer any questions that are related to how it works or what's the proper way to use it. Hope that helps, Doris. Linda Hammer asks, are there any housing discrimination laws we need to be concerned about for asking for the ID and form? So, housing discrimination laws, well, here's the thing, is that is not something that I definitely have an answer for, that I'm confident that I want to give you at this moment. However, I'm going to record this message and I'll post a blog article on our blog at theguardllama.com. So if you navigate to our website and you put /blog behind it, you'll be on our blog. And on there, I will post an answer to this question in the future so that we can if you subscribe to it, if you subscribe to our blog, you'll be able to get notifications weekly or monthly with new content that we come out with for realtors in regards to safety, personal security, etc. But you'll also be able to get a notification once I load this question into the blog post articles. Now, in general, this, in general, discrimination is dependent on how the information is being used. Surely, like all of us, we want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, right? Somebody comes up with a very, very extensive police record or criminal record when they're trying to buy a house from you. Do you go to sell them the house or do you not? Are you discriminating against their background? Are you not? Now, in regards to personal safety and security, if there is something that if you feel uncomfortable with because you feel in danger or unsecure or fear of the situation, I feel like that would hold more precedence than any kind of discrimination rights in that case. However, I do want to give you an exact answer, so we're going to have to wait till I can post that up live. Thanks, Linda. That's a great question. Let's see what else we got. So Francis Gerbenstein asks, that should read, will the Bluetooth remote still work without a signal booster if you have poor cell service? So poor cell service, if you could send a text message via your poor cell service, if that text message goes through, that signal to the dispatch center from your phone will go through as well. In general, your phone does require a battery or and a signal connected either to Wi-Fi or a cell tower to be able to send a signal. So make sure that you're either always connected or your phone is always charged. And in general, that is a best practice for realtor safety, because before ever using a personal security device or safety application, etc., your #1 lifeline to the police or to help is your phone. So you should always have an extra car charger. You could always pick up a case for your iPhone or Android phone that charges your device on the go. Those are things that you should put into practice yesterday. So Deanna Stephenson asks, how close does the fob need to be to your phone to operate? Well, in general, here,
I can jump onto this. So if you're inside and there's a lot of brick walls, there's a lot of drywall on the way, it works about 75 feet away. Generally, we want you to be as close to the phone as possible, but inside 75 feet is a good rule of thumb, and outside it's about 150 feet with no walls, no trees blocking the signal.
Normally when you're going through, let's say, a showing, you don't have too many distractions out because you're trying to give your focus to the customer, creating that perfect customer experience. Normally you don't have your phone out. It's either in your purse or in your pocket, but you may have your keys in your hand. The Guard Llama device attaches directly to your keychain or to your purse, and which will allow you to have quick access to it without ever having to pull your phone actually out. So in general, most people don't leave their phone too far away from them, but if it is within the house, let's say it's on the counter in the kitchen and you're showing the upstairs bathroom. Within the house, that is going to be roughly 35 feet unless you're showing a mansion. You should be able to get connectivity to the device. If the device in your hand does not vibrate, it just means that you need to move closer to your device to be able to get that signal. Once you click it twice and you feel it vibrate in your hand, that will let you know that it's active and help is basically on the way. You will receive a phone call that will come directly from dispatch. Now, if you do not answer that phone call to deactivate the alarm in case it's a false alarm, or to speak to dispatch because maybe it's not a police situation and more of a health-related situation, then when you don't answer it, it automatically lets us know that there really is a serious problem and police will be on their way. Now, in general, that's how it works.
All right, next question is from Lucille. If I want to buy one for myself and one for my realtor daughter, am I eligible for the discount for her as well? And yes, absolutely you are. If anybody who is up to 10, anybody who attended this safety summit webinar, anybody who they want to sign up to 10 users can sign up as well. And then a question from Janice. So you have to have good self-service for it to work. We have 99.9% redundancy. You definitely don't have to have good cell phone service, but you have to have something. So if you have no cell service, if you have no data, and you have no Wi-Fi, nothing on the phone will go out. We only send 2 bytes of data, which is under a kilobyte of data, which sends very quickly through smaller than a text message. So you definitely don't have to have good service, but you have to have something.
You can be on 1 bar and still get that message through. I've been able to send, today we can send almost picture messages on 1 bar of service. This isn't 1 bar of service on the GSM network. Normally it's 1 bar of service on like the 4G network. Now, if you don't have 4G in your area and you drop down to something like GSM or Edge network, you could still send text messages, still receive phone calls, even on 1 bar. They may take a little bit longer to go through, but it definitely will, especially because we designed the signal to be as small as possible so that it could work on the lowest type of cell service. Let's see what else we got. Brenda asks, will the device still work if you do not have a Wi-Fi signal? Yes. So if you have, if you're connected to 4G, Edge, GSM, any type of cell phone signal that will allow you to send a text message, hey, to your friend or your coworker, that will also allow you to send that signal through. Now, when you are connected to Wi-Fi, for instance, let's say you're showing a house that still has the Wi-Fi connection connected to the house. I recommend going to the router before your prospect shows up and looking at the router and actually logging into it. What that does is that actually improves the signal strength for your GPS locator. So yes, we can see where you are live in real time when you're just using your regular data signal. But when you're connected to Wi-Fi, we actually get even a stronger signal where we could pinpoint you within 5 feet of where you actually are. So that's just one of the things I definitely do recommend doing every time you do come into a house, especially in case there is something wrong with the cell signal, or something prevents the actual data from working. If you're connected to the Wi-Fi signal that's provided at the home, you definitely will be able to send that alert to the police. Mary Ann asks, I'm going to let Adam take this one.
I don't know if that's a question. Rebecca asks, what if the cell phone reception is bad where you're at? Again, to reiterate the last couple of questions, it doesn't matter if it's bad as long as you have something. And Jennifer Stark asks, can you test the device at a location? This was very important to us. When people are going in to show homes, we want to make sure that our operator knows where you're at, one, so that you can then sell confidently, and so that we can also be ready if something does happen. So all you have to do is activate your Guard Llama device before you go into the home. At the location, the operator will verify exactly where you're at, make sure all your profile information is good, so now you know that they know where you're at, so whenever you press that button, the police will come directly to you.
Kind of like checking in with a buddy that is an actual 911 dispatcher. So we definitely recommend having the buddy system and using the buddy system, but at the same time, our dispatchers will act like your buddy as well. I hope that answers your question, Jennifer. Let's see what else we've got. Yes, it is available in all states. It is available as well in Puerto Rico and Alaska. We are slowly having conversations with other countries like Canada and even Brazil, but at the moment we are only available in the U.S. in every single state that you can have cell phone reception or Wi-Fi connectivity. Andrea asks if you can use the application on an iPad versus an iPhone.
So you can use the application on any of your devices, so an iPad, an iPhone, an Android phone, or a Samsung Galaxy tablet. You just have to make sure on the iPad that obviously you have to be either connected to Wi-Fi or you have to have some type of data signal. Without that, then the iPad won't send out an alert.
Just looking through the questions, folks. Another one, if you have terrible cell service, will the Guard Llama Bluetooth remote still work with the cell phone signal booster? Oh, yeah, definitely. So if you have a cell phone signal booster, that's actually just helping send that message, that alert, to our dispatch center quicker. In general, terrible cell service still works because you are still connected to a network that will allow some sort of transfer of data. If there is 0 bars, 0 service, where it says literally no service in the top left corner of your device, that's something that in that case, it will not send a signal. If you were to have no service or no data, cell phone data, and you connect it to a Wi-Fi signal and you sent the alert, it will send on just Wi-Fi. It will send on both, but it will not send if you have neither. I think that's enough for cell service questions. So do we contact, Donna asks if we contact 911 nationally or just from a specific area.
So we, with the 911 system, so 911 is actually just a call routing system. So when you dial 911 right now, it hits the nearest cell phone tower, and then it'll go to dispatch, which is mainly the main problem with 911. It was created in the early 60s, and there hasn't been many updates to it since. So when you dial 911, there's actually a large chance that you'll be on the phone for the next minute until the cell phone towers decide where to put you. We hear stories pretty frequently about the calls going to the wrong cell phone towers and police not being able to be dispatched to that location because it's not within their jurisdiction. They don't know where you're at. So it goes to a specific location. There's over 1,600 public safety answering points in the United States. We have them all loaded into our back end. So when you call, use your GPS location to immediately call the nearest police dispatch to send them to your location.
Normally, 911 services or other E911 services, so electronic 911 services, like for instance in Indiana, you can actually text message 911 for help. And then there are are the other states that have E911 applications. So when those things call your 911 or your 911 dispatcher, what actually happens is it takes about 2 to 3 minutes for that dispatcher to actually load your public safety answering point. In our case, those public safety answering points, all 1,600 of them across the nation, have been loaded into our system, allowing us to instantly cross-reference your GPS location with our public safety answering points to give us the exact one just the same at the exact same moment that your signal comes in, which eliminates a lot of those precious seconds that require us to react correctly and effectively during an emergency. Hope that helps, Donna.
So I'm actually going to jump back to a question that we had a little while ago. I just did a little bit of research on it. It was about the discrimination. So discrimination occurs when an agent asks for ID and photo from some clients and not from all clients, which is why they have to ask for ID and a photo from every client. So if you just do it for some, then that you're definitely discriminating against clients. So just make it your practice to photo ID every client and have them fill out the security form on Realtor.org.
And just to add a little bit to that, most of the time when we are discriminating against other people, and we do this naturally all the time, maybe that person's not as smart, or that person's not, that person might look like they do something different, or that person looks like a criminal, right? There are the majority of criminals that are attracted to realtors are not your average, like, for instance, thugs or street gang members. They are actually like people in suits. They look like normal people like you and me. And in that case, it's very hard to discriminate in regards to, hey, I might feel unsafe with this person, I'm going to make them do a background check. But if you make it a practice to check every single prospect that comes onto your table, you will be able to assess risky situations right there on the spot by seeing somebody's record, despite what they look like, professional or non-professional. And it will also allow you to pre-qualify people. Do I want to spend, is this person somebody that can buy or can purchase, or is this person somebody that is getting red flagged with all these different things? In general, that would be the best practice to check everybody. Let's see what we've got. Missed the first part. Is it recorded? Yes, it is recorded, and you can definitely catch this again. I'm pretty sure everybody will receive an update from NAR giving them access to all these live webinars in their back portal. So the remote is just, so Donna asks, can you have the device connected to multiple smartphones at the same time?
Unfortunately, Donna, the remote only works for the device that you've paired it to. A couple reasons for this: if several people in the area within 175 feet of you have a Guard Llama device, we don't want them activating your application on accident. So it only pairs with one until you pair it with another. So if you get a new phone, you can obviously update it and pair it to a new phone, but it only works with one at a time.
Marianne asks, when using the ID
that question's already been answered. Okay, sorry about that, Marianne. Is the emergency response team a private group? I got this from Kristen Holmes. Yes, the emergency response team is a private group. It's a emergency monitoring station here in Illinois. They are federally certified, UL listed, and have been operating for over 30 years. We trust them very heavily, and they've already done a great job with our current clients. And yeah, so hope that answers your question.
In regards to the response unit that comes, or the people that they're dispatching, they are always dispatching 911 police, or of course your EMT, local EMT paramedics, hospital, etc. I think that is about it for, wait, we've got one more question. How many operators do you have and where are they located?
So we currently have over 20 operators, and they are in Springfield, Illinois, centrally located in Springfield, Illinois, which is a great location for us. They have, access to all the 50 states. They have several police dispatchers on speed dial. So yeah, that's where they're located, and that's how many you have.
Normally, hey Adam, how many? Adam's has an extensive background in the security field, especially working with security dispatchers. And I just want to ask him, how many users can one dispatcher cover?
So we see typically with, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Life Alert or Lifeline from Philips. We have a little bit, it varies, but about one dispatcher can take on anywhere from 15,000 to 20,000 people at one time for 24/7 monitoring. So we have 20 in place right now with Guard Llama up all the time. So there should be never be an issue where somebody doesn't get the help that they need immediately, which is one of the biggest things that we required from our monitoring station to do for us. So we want to give our users the best experience possible and allow them to reach police quicker than ever before.
In fact, we ran a demonstration for the local police department here in Chicago at Tinley Park, and working with their dispatch center, their local public safety answering point, as well as the local PD. We made this short film that is going to be coming out very soon here.
Yeah, we were actually even we were surprised by the response time, even in Tinley Park. The average response time is between 7 and 8 minutes. With Guard Llama, we got it to 1 minute and 30 seconds, right around 1 minute and 30 seconds. So we reduced the response time by well over 75%. We got one more question. What type of statistics on real estate agent safety issues do you receive monthly, yearly, daily? So primarily the statistics that we use come from NAR, and we also have done individual surveys with realtors as well. If you would like the statistics on those survey results, or if you would like more information on NAR's safety survey, I believe it happened in January of 2015, so the information is very current. Just message me at adam@theguardllama.com, that contact down there, and I will send that to you as quickly as possible. How many alerts do we receive from real estate agents? So on average, we actually receive very few false alarms because of the way the system's made. So I would say on average per month, two to three, and that's usually people not in an emergency, but people that want to talk to a dispatcher, update them on their location, let them know that they're going into an unsafe neighborhood, and just seeing if the system works. Because when you have a button in your hand, you kind of like to press it.
At this time, if anybody's got any final questions, go ahead and load them in there so that we can answer them. But I just want to again mention that we're doing this great promotion where we're giving 50% off to all realtors that are joining us on this webinar today, and that will watch this webinar anytime in the future. The coupon code is NAR Safety, and it allows you to get that 50% discount on checkout. I think that's about it for us.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining the Realtor Safety Summit, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Again, there's the contact information and the coupon code, and we'll see you at Annual. Talk to you soon.